After running testing on the cathedral port heads and the rec port heads, it was high time to step up to the big boys, the Ls7 heads. Now while I did pick a good test motor, as usual, you guys get to yell at me for picking the wrong cam. In this video, we've got an Ls7 Head Shoot Out. I mean, we're talking about 9 or 10 different Ls7 heads. And one thing we found out in this test, Ls7 heads definitely need enough test motor. I mean, we saw a little bit of this in our first test back on the cathedral port heads. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's right here. But definitely when we stepped up to the LS3 heads, I mean, even a set of stock LS3 heads needs a lot of test motor to take advantage of all that airflow. I mean, the ported LS3 heads, even more so. But guess what? These Ls7 heads are a step above that. I mean, some of these heads flow 400 CFM. And if we use our formula, horsepower equals CFM times 2, these Ls7 heads will support over 800 horsepower. And we know that that's true because we did exactly that. But here's my question. When we go over the specs in the first test, I know I built enough test motor, but did I use the right cam? Knowing that we needed enough test motor for our Ls7 head test, we built a 495-inch stroker. Using an RHS aluminum block, I combined a 4.5-inch stroke with a 4185 bore, and so we had forged internals from Lenati and Wiseco and K1, so it was a good rotating assembly, plenty strong for what we were doing. The RHS block obviously was nice, and we could run all of the Ls7 heads, ARP head studs. We put a good size cam in it, although again I don't think it was quite enough. The specs on the cam were 660 lift with the 1.8 rocker, and a 259-275 degree duration split, and 115 degree LSA. It was basically the bottom of the page at the time for comp cams available catalog listings. Now this was a hydraulic roller cam. Compression was about 13.5 to 1 with the piston that we used on that combination with a 70cc head, which is what most of these Ls7 heads were. We also used a single plane Mast split intake manifold and a 1050 Ultra Dominator carburetor. So it had a really good induction system that allowed the thing to breathe and, you know, make power. Ran the thing all the way up to 7,000 RPM. So there was not a problem there. I'm just thinking that that camshaft might have been a little small, on the lift side. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. What we did first was run a set of as-cast Ls7 cylinder heads from GM Performance Parts to get things started. And then we compared all of the ported heads to that. So run with those GM Performance Parts heads. Our 495-inch motor made 742 horsepower. Peak torque was 684 foot-pounds of torque. And I'll go ahead and put the flow numbers up for all of these at the end. You guys can kind of compare the two. So now what we did was we ran GM Performance Parts also offered a CNC version of that head. And here's what happened when we put the ported version of the head on. It did pick up power. Peak power up to 773 horsepower. Peak torque was up to 704 foot-pounds of torque. So, you know, it's some pretty decent upgrades. It made the ports bigger on these heads, but we did see a flow increase, so we did see a power gain. Let's get to our next set of cylinder heads. Our next set of cylinder heads came from the guys at Speedmaster, and I wanted to try these because they're, you know, they're a lower cost head, so we wanted to make sure that we had the affordable stuff in there as well. Back then they were using, they were called Pro Comp heads, but now they've changed over to Speedmaster. And here's what happened when we installed their Ls7 heads. They did pick up power. Peak power jumped up to 765 horsepower. And peak torque, 706 foot-pounds of torque. Now, given the flow numbers, I actually expected maybe a little bit more, you know, bigger gains in this. But it just goes to show you that, you know, an Ls7 head flows a lot, it makes a lot of power, and it's, you know, it gets harder and harder to improve upon it. So here's what the Speedmaster heads did. Let's take a look at our next set. Our next set of heads came from the guys at Lingenfelter Performance, and obviously they know a thing or two about making LS or really any kind of Chevy power. Here's what happened when we installed the Lingenfelter Ls7 heads. Those things picked up some serious power. They did really well as kind of expected. We were getting up near 800 horsepower, 793 horsepower. Peak torque was up to 719 foot-pounds of torque. So these heads did good, and you could see they made better power than those as-cast GM Performance Parts heads from about 4,000 all the way up. So we basically saw nothing but gains, and they would continue if we continued to rev this motor out any higher. But obviously those guys know a thing or two about power, and these heads showed that they put the effort into it, and picking up power everywhere. From something that was already making nearly 750 horsepower, that's a pretty good deal. So these Lingenfelter heads work good. Let's check out our next set. The next set of heads we tested on the 495-inch stroker came from the guys at Texas Speed. They do good stuff over there. Here are the Texas Speed Ls7 heads. They picked up power basically everywhere, as we see through the curve, which is nice. It's good to pick up peak power, but when you can pick up more power everywhere, that's obviously even better. They produce 796 horsepower and peak torque 725 foot-pounds of torque. So good torque gains through the whole curve from, down from 36 or 3700 all the way out. So that's a nice gain going from 741 or 2 horsepower to 796. Pretty solid gains. Let's check out our next set of heads. Our next set of heads came from the guys at Scoggin Dickey, and although GM Performance Parts obviously makes their own head, the guys from Scoggin Dickey had a specific head that they did, which works out really well. They're pretty good over there. They understand performance, know how to have these things make power. Here are the heads that we tried from the guys over at Scoggin Dickey Performance Center. Good power. As a matter of fact, they topped the 800 horsepower mark. Nice, 802 horsepower. Peak torque checked in at 717 foot-pounds of torque, so good. And again, gains from 4,000 RPM all the way out. About the same below that, but good solid gains and over 800 horsepower. Obviously, those guys know how to make power. Good solid gains from the ported Ls7 heads. Let's check out our next set. Next up on the big stroker was a set of heads from the guys at Brodix. We've had good luck with these heads. We've run them on other applications. They've always made pretty good power. They were kind of a late arrival to this test, but we're glad we got to include them. Here are the Brodix heads, the STS 273s. And with the Brodix heads, the big stroker produced right at 800 horsepower and 714 foot-pounds of torque. Gains started right at 3,900, about the same below that. Otherwise, solid gains all the way out. The Brodix heads work really well, and probably if we would have run this thing, maybe even at a higher RPM or something, we could have saw a little bit more power. The Brodix heads always a solid combination. Let's check out our next set. The final set of heads in our test came from the guys over at Mast, and after seeing how well they did in the previous test, we were excited about running their cylinder heads on the Ls7. So here's what the Mast heads did. They picked up quite a bit of power. They did really well. 810 horsepower, so the highest of the bunch. And peak torque was up to 726 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, so they did really well. Picked up power from, like most of them, from about 4,000 on up. Good solid gains, it just goes to show you what, a good set of ported Ls7 heads can do. These Mast heads work well. Let's get to our conclusion. Here's the intake flow data for all the Ls7 heads. And here's the exhaust flow data for all the Ls7 heads. Okay guys, what did you think about our Ls7 cylinder head shootout? Here's what I think. I think the heads that we tested, I think it just shows what they did on this combination and not necessarily what they're ultimately capable of. I mean, let's face it, this was a good motor. I had enough cubic inches, it had enough compression, it had a good intake manifold and a big enough carburetor. It had all that stuff. And especially with the aftermarket heads, it had plenty of potential. But what do you guys think about the camshaft? Personally, I think I should have run more lift, maybe more duration. Let me know what you guys think, especially the cam experts out there. What kind of camshaft would you have run on this combination to really get the most out of these cylinder heads? But here's the other option. What if I didn't run 495 inches and we made a smaller test motor, something closer to 440 inches, and we ran a lot more RPM? What kind of cams are you guys running on that combination? Because we know if we just look at the flow rate of these heads, let's say 400 CFM, we know that that will support 800 horsepower, and that's at just 2 horsepower per CFM. If you're talking about 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 horsepower per CFM, which some guys get, that's a lot of power. So let me know what kind of combinations you guys have done. I'm Richard Holdner. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll keep testing.